G'day guys, my name's Tuckshop and today I'm bringing you a guide on efficient magic damage. In today's guide, we're going to be talking about the manual spellcasting option, dual wield weapons versus two-handed weapons for auto attacks, understanding the global cooldown and the tick system manipulation, as well as utilizing defensive abilities in our magic rotations. Alrighty, first let's take a look at manual spellcasting. To access this, we go to our settings, under action bar, manual spellcasting, and make sure that's selected. Remember when setting a spell to always use your dual wield weapons so that the offhand spell is also set. So what manual spellcasting does, it will ensure that you will always cast the spell you originally set. In this case for me, that's Blood Blitz. No matter what, I will always cast Blood Blitz now unless I choose otherwise. Here's a demonstration of that now. So my character will blood first. I'm going to select ice for 1. And now without touching anything, it will automatically go back to blood. So this is useful at Talos, for an example, when you need to freeze the golems. But when you get back on Talos, it won't use an ice spell on him, which could accidentally trigger his freedom. Alrighty, now let's have a look at dual wield weapon auto attacks versus two-handed weapon auto attacks. A lot of you already know this, so this dummy here is set to max hit mode for the purpose of this demonstration. My dual wield weapon, my auto here will hit 1120, whereas my staff, my two-handed weapon, will hit 2326. Okay, so a lot more damage is going to be generated from a two-handed weapon, and we keep this in mind when 4-ticking. Now I'm going to talk about global cooldown and the tick system. So a full global cooldown takes 1.8 seconds, and we can divide this into 4 ticks. Watching my primary action bar right now, you can see the global cooldown in effect. It is important to learn this so that you can understand how to efficiently weave defensive abilities and manipulate auto attacks into your rotations. Now let's have a look at utilizing defensive abilities, in particular freedom. So a very crucial part to 4-tick auto attacking is understanding how and when we can force auto attacks in between global cooldowns. A great example of this is using the ability Freedom, which will automatically force an auto attack of your selected weapon, while also allowing us to sneak in another auto on the 3rd tick of that global cooldown. Use this diagram here as an example. Now that we understand the global cooldown system can be split into 4 ticks, we can now see how Freedom can be used. When we use Freedom, it will force our first auto attack. Just before our global cooldown reaches completion, we force a second auto attack with magic to stack with the next ability we were going to use, such as Rack. So this would be at the top or the 4th tick or the start of our global cooldown. Another way of saying this is, when my global cooldown is about to finish, I quickly use my second auto in conjunction with my next ability to stack them on top of each other. Alrighty guys, let's put it all together now. We know that our two-handed weapon has the most auto attack damage, so we'll make sure to be wielding our staff when we use Freedom, so that my forced auto attack does the most damage. Right before my global cooldown finishes, I'm going to use Ice and Rack together. This combination is particularly useful at Talos because it allows me to break Talos' freedom, as well as turning my basic ability Rack from 94% weapon damage to 188% weapon damage on bound or stunned enemies. Alright, lastly we're going to have a look at the ability combination in action. So, I'll just be attacking my dummy. When I'm ready, I'm going to use Freedom, Blood, Ice, Rack. Okay. So what just happened, I forced an auto attack with my staff using Freedom. When my global cooldown was almost finished, I switched to my dual wields. I used Ice and Rack, and all of those abilities stacked on the same tick. Alrighty guys, that's going to be a wrap on the video. I hope this guide helped you better understand the global cooldown system and how we can use the tick system to manipulate autos, as well as weaving defensive abilities to maximize our damage output. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I also stream every day on Twitch, so feel free to come and check me out. and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.